Hey guys, Jason with Prodigy Homes here. Have you ever wondered, like, what goes on at these new builds that they're building all of these houses? What's going on in there? What are they doing? Well, ride along with me today and I'll show you. The next job site we're going to is kind of just one step in front of the first one we stopped at on this street. So the stucco lath has been done on the house. So here's the lath. So it's a different layer. So you don't see underneath this, but it's got a layer of what we call tar paper. It's black for kind of a vapor barrier. And then we go over it, we staple on this, it's like 1 inch thick foam board. And then you got this chicken wire kind of deal going all the way around. And on the corners, it's got this more of this metal lath to kind of fortify those corners where it might break or crack. Okay, so this one, all the flooring has been put down, and now they're installing the cabinets and the millwork. So here they're laying out all of the doors, exactly where they go. They have already pre-cut the casework that goes around the doors, then kind of laid them out in each one of the areas. And that does a couple of things too. Whenever you do this, it makes room in the garage to be able to work by bringing everything in, and by laying everything out before you even start, you'll know which doors, if you're missing a door, if there's some kind of issue with the door selections there. So those are all good to go. So you see how he's got this bucket of shims here? So as he goes along, you set one side of the door, then you go back behind the other side and you shim off behind each one of these hinges, and then you shim off top, bottom, and middle of this 8-foot door. Might be done in 4 spots here. So that way it cannot shift or move with use. Now let's move on to the last one on this block so far. So this is one that just, we got through what we call our rough ends. So the rough ends on the house is when they come in and they rough in the plumbing lines, and they rough in the HVAC, the duct work, and the ventilation and exhaust vents, things like that. So the electrician's just finished up his job today, and I believe it is called in for inspection today. So let's take a look. Looks like they are done. Everything's labeled. Yep, he's ready for his inspection. Take a quick pic of that. So L&I inspector will come out and inspect the electrical work. Plumbing, HVAC, and gas lines, I believe, have already been called in for inspections on this one. So this is what we call like the midway point of the house, right? So it's the front end of the build is pretty much done. The foundation, the framing, the rough-in work. So basically the skeleton and the guts of the house have already been all put in place. In this stage of the game, I take lots of pictures. Like, you know, for example, if you moved into the house and you were like, okay, well, where's that HDMI conduit go, right? You can look at the picture and you could tell that it's this one. We have another HDMI conduit because he wants to do lighting between his like under cabinet lighting. He's able to do that by pulling that in. And you can see the other HDMI conduit running from back there to down there. So by taking these daily photographs and seeing all this stuff, you can actually kind of basically have X-ray vision to see through the walls at that point. Let's take a quick dive down to the basement here. Now down here, they're doing a nice wet bar right here. This is kind of the rec room area here. So here we are on Sage Bluff Lane in South Richland. So the stucco lath has been applied to the house. We are ready for the brown coat on the stucco. Let's take a quick loop around now that they finished the stucco lath to make sure everything is good to go. All right, and we've also had our brown coat materials delivered. We did a stamped concrete here. Is this locked up? Good, it is. All right. So the painters, yesterday they finished up the trim work inside. So all of the baseboard, the doors, the crown molding, things like that. They've gotten all of the trim work done. So the painters should have gotten in today to start their paint prep. They come in and they fill all of the nail holes with Bondo, and then they'll come back tomorrow, sand all these down, fill them again, sand it down, and then they shoot a primer over the top of that. And so the primer is going to show them any other blemishes that are going to be on the trim. They'll hit it one more time with this Bondo, and then they'll do their final coat. So these are all the doors. They have removed all of the doors, of course, to stack up and paint. So notice too, lots of people wonder, like, hey Jason, how do they keep track of what door goes where? So if you come over here, you will see how that has the number 4 up here in the top corner? So if you look, what they do is when they take off the door, they'll mark the hinge with the number. So that door would obviously be in the 4th one. So if you look on this one right over here, it says 9. So as they take them down, they mark them on exactly where they go back. The company came in today and they templated for the countertops. So he came in and measured and made his little templates for that. This one gets a farmhouse sink, nice black farmhouse sink. It's pretty cool. So once the guys are done with all of the, so the walls have not been painted or the trim. So what they do is they paint the trim first. So they'll get everything all caulked in. You can see on the top here that they've ran their caulking gun. They've got everything caulked into the walls, right? They've got everything caulked into the doorways here. So they'll just spray everything the white color around the trim and around the baseboard. It's a nice semi-gloss latex that we use. So they'll paint that, and then once they'll come back and then they'll tape off and start spraying and rolling the walls. Once they're done with the walls, they'll do the same application on the ceiling. Well, here we are, 1336 Page Street. So there's going to be quite a bit of touch-ups that need to be done. Garage door. We run into things all the time that we need to replace. See, look. See that? It's a nice ding, right? It's like somebody, I think during the install process, something got mashed in there. So if it was mashed in there and then they closed it, both of these panels would be messed up. But no, it's just the one. So we've got that on order. It should be changed out very quickly, actually. Appliance package has been delivered. Are the countertops done? Drum roll, please. No, they are not done. So countertops were supposed to go in today. And we run into this kind of thing all the time where, they're supposed to be done. But actually he has tomorrow too, because the backsplash guy is not going to be able to get here till Thursday morning anyway. So this is going to be quite nice too. It comes across for the island and goes straight down again with like a knife edge look. Which is going to be really cool. So this is the master bath. It's got like a small little makeup area here, kind of his and hers vanities. It's got a cool walk-in shower. This is just going to be a nice tile work with just a big, like a plane of glass right here, kind of separating the two. And then you get into the master closet. So the master closet is bigger than most bedrooms that she did here. And again, we came in with like a California closet system from All City Closets. Those guys do a great job. Looks good. So the only thing they're missing here, this is going to be like a big armoire kind of thing. So they got to put the doors. They got to get the doors in, and then they're going to do all the drawer fronts here. So it's missing all the drawer fronts here right now. So we got a full wet bar down here, and like almost like a little mini kitchen area. It's going to have a microwave. It'll have a refrigerator here for that. Nice huge rec room. Great for entertaining. The deck railing just got put in a few days ago. I checked it out when they were putting it in. Make sure everything is solid and tight. So with these, it's not a bolt together system. So everything, if you look, it's all welded, steel welded and powder coated. So these things are going to last a good long time. All right, here we are at the final job site of the day. So this is on Summers Lane in South Richland. It's in Summerview Estates. This is a 2-story floor plan. It's called the Cello. So right now, they're working on framing up the front entryway. So you can kind of see into the house right now. They have the lower floor done. They're working on the upper floor. Looks like they haven't quite built in the staircase there, but you can see the front, the entire front end of the house right now. This two-story, it has a two-story entry here. When you walk in, it's got basically 20-foot high or 19-foot high ceilings. So as that gets raised up, and then they can build out the front entryway. So come on in and take a look. This is gonna be the kitchen area. Cabinets coming all the way around here with a nice big island right in the middle. It's got a dining room separating the great room or family room to the dining room and kitchen here. Starting to locate the covered patio. They're starting to lay that out and get it all in. This guy over here is marking out for the shear walls on the outside, so you see the big S, they write on it. That's so they can make sure to get the shear wall panels in. And what shear walls do, it's a special nailing pattern on the outside of the OSB that makes it to where the house cannot rack. Keeps it nice and solid and stable so where it can't do that. So behind me here, you can see the developers are readying the next phase here for us builders to roll into. So after a long day of walking job sites, I usually wrap up that day by sitting down with my tablet. There's an average of about 150 photos that I enter every day for the, not just for the homeowners to see and kind of follow along with the progress, but it's also for these subcontractors too. So they can actually, without having to drive out to the job or call into me to see if it's ready, they can look on yesterday's content on our Builder Trend program, and they'll be able to see, hey, is the job ready for me? Have the materials been delivered? Is everything I need on that job? So it really helps everybody all around to be able to build these things efficiently. All right, that's a wrap. Well, obviously I did not take you on every job we were doing, but you're able to see those 5, 6, 7 that we did hit, and maybe next week, if you tune in again, you can see these same jobs progressing along a little further, or maybe we'll go to a few new starts, or who knows. So tune in next time. See ya.